You hear the alarm before you understand what it means. A voice cracks through the hospital speakers, a crash cart flies around the corner, and suddenly everyone is running. A nurse is shouting numbers. A resident is climbing onto the bed to start compressions. An attending walks in with the calm face of someone who has seen this nightmare too many times. And in the corner, barely breathing, there is you, not the patient, not yet the hero, just a young person in a short white coat, holding a notebook you forgot how to use, watching a human life balance on the edge of a monitor screen. This is what you said you wanted. You thought becoming a doctor meant respect, money, a white coat, maybe your family finally bragging about you at dinner. You imagined saving lives. You imagined people trusting you. You imagined walking through hospital doors like you belong there. But nobody told you how many years it would take before you stopped feeling like an imposter. Nobody told you that every new rank would give you more power, but also less sleep, less innocence, and fewer places to hide. At first, you only want to get accepted. Then you only want to survive medical school. Then you only want to make it through intern year without harming anyone. Then one day, people start calling you for the final decision, and you realize the ladder never really ends. It only gets higher, quieter, and heavier. This is your life through every rank of becoming a doctor. From the 19-year-old pre-med who thinks ambition is enough, to the physician whose decisions can change an entire hospital, an entire city, maybe even a country. Every level gives you something. Every level takes something back. And by the time you reach the top, you will finally understand the truth medicine hides from everyone at the bottom. Level 1, Rank 1, the pre-med student. You are 19 years old and you have already told everyone the same thing. You are going to be a doctor. You said it at family dinners, on college forums, and at parties like the words themselves could make it true. But you have never touched a patient. You have never held a scalpel. You have never watched someone die. Right now, pre-med mostly means sitting in a crowded lecture hall with hundreds of other students who made the same promise. Organic chemistry hits first. The professor does not know your name. The exams do not care about your dream. You study until your eyes burn, then get a 68 and sit alone, wondering if ambition is enough. Half the class will disappear into easier majors before the year ends. You try not to be one of them. So you volunteer at a hospital. Your badge says volunteer, which really means nobody mistakes you for someone important. You push wheelchairs, refill water, carry flowers into quiet rooms, and smile because you do not know what else to do. Then a nurse asks you for a blanket, and for the first time in months, you feel useful. A doctor lets you hear a heartbeat through a stethoscope, and that tiny sound follows you home. The MCAT becomes your whole life. Every practice score feels like a verdict. You apply to 25 medical schools. Most reject you. A few keep you waiting. 2 finally say yes. You choose the one with more financial aid because before you ever treat a patient, the dream already has a price tag. You are accepted. You are in debt, and medicine has taught you its first lesson. Getting through the door is not the victory. It is only the beginning. Level 2, Rank 2, the medical student. You enter medical school thinking the hardest part is over. Then the lectures begin. Anatomy, pathology, pharmacology, microbiology. Every day feels like someone is pouring a library into your head and expecting you to remember every page. You learn the body piece by piece, then learn every way it can fail. Anatomy lab is where the dream becomes real. There is a body on the table, a person who once had a life and chose to become your first teacher. Someone places a scalpel in your hand. Your fingers shake. The room smells like chemicals and fear. When you make the first cut, you understand that medicine is not about looking smart. It is about carrying responsibility. The first 2 years disappear into exams, flashcards, and nights where sleep feels optional. Then clinical rotations begin, and suddenly you are inside the hospital for real. You follow doctors through surgery, pediatrics, psychiatry, emergency medicine, and internal medicine. Your white coat is short, your confidence is smaller. On rounds, one question can make your mind go blank in front of everyone. Then one day, a patient dies while you are standing in the room. The monitor goes flat. The team moves quickly. You do nothing because you do not know what to do. Nobody teaches you how heavy silence can feel after death. By the end, you must choose a specialty. Surgery means years more in the operating room. Emergency medicine means chaos. Family medicine means long relationships with patients. Every path gives you a future and takes another one away. You are closer to becoming a doctor, but now you know the truth. Knowledge may get you through exams, but humility is what keeps you alive in medicine. Level 3 rank. 3. The intern. You graduate medical school. The letters are finally after your name. People call you doctor now, and for one beautiful second, it feels like you made it. Then July 1st arrives, and you walk into the hospital as an intern. Suddenly, the title feels too big for your body. You know medicine in theory. You know diseases, drugs, lab values, and textbook answers. But the hospital does not move like a textbook. Patients get worse at 3 in the morning. Nurses page you with questions you are not ready to answer. Families look into your eyes and expect certainty, while inside you are searching your memory like a drowning person grabbing for air. You work until time stops making sense. 14-hour shifts, overnight calls, a thin mattress in a call room that smells like exhaustion. You close your eyes for 10 minutes, then your pager screams, and your body moves before your brain wakes up. You write orders, check labs, present patients on rounds, and try not to sound as scared as you feel. You make mistakes, small ones mostly, but they feel enormous. You forget a result. You order the wrong test. A senior resident pulls you aside, corrects you quietly, and you nod while shame burns behind your eyes. On the way home, you sit in silence, eating whatever food is left in your bag, wondering if choosing medicine ruined your life. Then one night, a patient's daughter sends a message thanking you for being gentle with her mother. Not brilliant, not perfect, gentle. And for some reason, that breaks you more than the criticism did. You cry, sleep for a few hours, wake up before sunrise, and return to the hospital. Because this is intern year. You are no longer pretending to become a doctor. You are becoming one the hard way. Level 4, rank 4. The resident you survive intern year in the hospital finally stops feeling like a maze. You know the fastest way to the ICU, which vending machine works at night, and which attending will teach you instead of breaking you. Now you make real decisions. A patient comes in with chest pain, and everyone waits for your plan. Heart attack, panic attack, blood clot, something worse. You order tests, read the results, and choose the next step. Most days you are right. Some days you are wrong enough to stay humble. The interns now look at you with the same fear you once had. So you teach them. You show them how to admit what they do not know, how to keep moving after a mistake, and how to survive a brutal shift without becoming cruel. But residency still takes pieces of you. A father arrives with stomach pain. You think it is simple until the scan shows cancer. Weeks later, he is gone. You were the first doctor who promised to find the answer. You found it, and it broke your heart. Outside the hospital, life moves on without you. Friends get married, relationships fade, holidays disappear into night shifts. You tell yourself it will be worth it. Some days you believe it. Some days another patient is the only reason you keep walking. Level 5. Rank 5. The fellow residency ends, and you could finally become an attending. You could earn real money, sleep more, and start the life everyone else began years ago. Instead, you choose more training. Fellowship. 1 to 3 more years inside one narrow world. Cardiology, oncology, gastroenterology, intensive care. You stop trying to know all of medicine and start mastering one part so deeply that other doctors call you when they are lost. And for the first time, you feel truly useful. A team asks for help with a strange heart rhythm. You read the EKG, see what they missed, adjust the plan, and explain it clearly. You are no longer just surviving. You are becoming the expert in the room. But the price is still there. You publish papers, present research, chase a reputation, and watch your 30s arrive before your real career has fully begun. Friends have houses, children, savings, weekends. You have loans, hospital badges, and a skill most people cannot even understand. You tell yourself you did not choose medicine for money. Some nights that feels true. Other nights, it sounds like the only story that keeps you going. Fellowship finally gives you confidence, but only after taking almost your entire youth. Level 6, rank 6, the attending physician. Then training ends. No senior resident above you, no attending waiting to approve your plan. You are the attending now. When the phone rings at 3 a.m., people call because you are the final answer. At first, it feels like freedom. The money is finally real. You can pay loans, buy a better car, maybe get a house that feels permanent. Your family looks at you like they finally understand what all those years were for. For a moment, you think you made it. Then the wait arrives. Every decision belongs to you. A patient crashes, and your orders decide what happens next. A symptom is missed, a scan comes late, a treatment fails, and there is no one above you to share the blame. At night, you replay everything. Should you have acted sooner? Did you save them, or just get lucky? Still, some patients make the burden worth carrying. The old woman who brings cookies, the stubborn man who finally takes his medicine, the teenager with cancer who asks if she will die, and you promise to fight with everything you have. You have the title, the salary, the respect. But being an attending is not the end of pressure. It is the moment the safety net disappears. Level 7, rank 7, the department chief. At some point, the hospital stops asking you to only save patients. Now it asks you to lead the people who save them. Maybe it begins as chief resident. You build schedules for doctors who are exhausted, angry, and one bad shift away from breaking. You settle hallway arguments, protect struggling interns, and stand between trainees and attendings until both sides blame you for everything. Then the title gets heavier. Department chief, head of surgery, chief of cardiology, director of emergency medicine. Now every doctor in your department becomes part of your responsibility. Their mistakes become your meetings. Their burnout becomes your problem. Their complaints land on your desk before the day even starts. You thought leadership would feel powerful. Instead, it feels like fighting in every direction. Doctors need more staff. Patients need more time. Administrators need better numbers. Insurance companies want shorter stays. And somewhere in the middle, you are trying to remember why you became a doctor in the first place. Some days you barely see patients. You sit through budgets, policies, reviews, and complaints. But you keep fighting because behind every spreadsheet is a person in a hospital bed. At this rank, you are no longer carrying one life at a time. You are carrying the whole department. Level 8, rank 8, the chief medical officer. Then you become more than a doctor. You become the physician at the top of the hospital. Chief medical officer. Every department now touches your desk. Surgery, emergency medicine, ICU, pediatrics, radiology. You no longer treat one patient at a time. You shape the rules that decide how thousands of patients are treated. Protocols, safety standards, staffing problems, crisis plans. When something serious happens, your phone rings first. And serious things always happen. An infection spreads through a ward. A surgery goes wrong. The ICU runs short on a critical medication. A burned-out doctor becomes dangerous, and you must sit across from someone you respect and tell them they cannot practice right now. You sit in meetings with CEOs, lawyers, accountants, and board members. They talk about budgets. You think about faces. The nurse running between too many rooms. The resident sleeping in yesterday's scrubs. The family waiting for news no one wants to give. You try to keep one clinic day, just to remember what medicine felt like before it became emails, lawsuits, and policy. For a few hours, you listen to patients again. Then you return upstairs where the hospital is still bleeding somewhere. At this rank, your power is huge, but so is the distance between you and the people you started this journey to help. Level 9, rank 9, the health system CEO. Eventually, one hospital is not enough. Now you oversee many hospitals, clinics, emergency rooms, staff, budgets, and patients whose names you will never know. Your decisions no longer affect one room. They affect entire communities. A rural hospital is losing money. Keep it open, and the system suffers. Close it, and some families lose their only nearby emergency care. A rich suburb wants a new cancer center. A poor neighborhood needs more nurses, more beds, more basic care. Both are right. You still have to choose. You speak in public meetings, give interviews, and attend fundraisers where donors smile beside buildings that will carry their names. You thank them, then think about the night shift nurse still waiting for a raise and the intern asleep in yesterday's scrubs. You are older now. Your hands are steady but tired. Medicine has changed. Screens replaced paper. Robots entered operating rooms. Telemedicine reached patients far away. But people still need the same thing: someone skilled enough to help and human enough to listen. At this rank, your power is bigger than ever. But every decision saves someone somewhere and leaves someone else waiting. Final level, highest rank. The legacy. Then one day the hospital keeps moving, but you stop. You retire. You clean out an office filled with plaques, old photos, thank you cards, and patient notes you could never throw away. Your white coat hangs behind the door, worn at the cuffs, faded at the pocket. You fold it slowly like it is proof that you were here. At your retirement dinner, former residents stand up and tell stories. The night you stayed past sunrise for a dying patient. The diagnosis you caught when everyone else missed it. The intern you once corrected too harshly, then found later with coffee and an apology. They call you a mentor, a legend. The reason they stayed in medicine? And only then do you realize your real rank was never written on a badge. At home, the quiet feels strange. Your family has paid for this career too, in missed dinners, lonely nights, and holidays interrupted by emergencies. One of your children is thinking about medical school. You warn them how hard it is, but you see the same fire you had at 19. You cannot protect them from the exhaustion, grief, or heartbreak. You can only tell them the truth. Medicine will take more than they expect, but some days it will give them a moment so meaningful that nothing else can compare. That is legacy. The people you saved, the doctors you trained, and the cycle that continues after you leave. Somewhere tonight, a hospital alarm is going off. A team is running toward a room where a stranger's life is collapsing in real time. A student is watching with wide eyes. An intern is terrified of making the wrong call. A resident is moving faster than fear. An attending is carrying the final decision. And above them all, somewhere in the system, leaders are making choices that shape whether that team has enough beds, enough staff, enough time. This is what every rank serves. You climb because you want to help. You keep climbing because people need you. But the higher you rise, the more you understand the hidden truth of medicine. The reward gets bigger, the respect gets louder, the power becomes real, but the weight never leaves. It only changes shape. And if you are lucky, after all the years, losses, mistakes, and miracles, you realize the goal was never just to become important. It was to become useful when someone needed you most.